things like that.
Okay, so now we're looking at solving systems of equations using the addition method. And the trick to this is trying to set up your equations so that you have two opposite coefficients in front of the same variable, so that when you add the two equations together, they will cancel out. So if we look at this system, we don't have it set up in that form right now. If we add the equations together just the way it is, we will have 9x, and then we would have a negative y, which wouldn't get us anywhere. So what we're going to do to fix that situation is we're going to multiply either one or both equations by a constant so that we do get two equations or two coefficients that are opposites, so that when we add them together they will cancel. Now looking at this, there's a couple of different ways that we could go. I usually focus on any variables that don't have a coefficient out in front and focus on how can I manipulate this so that the coefficient in front of that variable will be the opposite of the one in front of the variable below. So this is a negative 2 in front of this y. So I want a positive 2 in front of this one, which means if I multiply this whole equation by 2, I'll get that positive 2 in front of the y that I'm looking for. So if I do that, I'm going to write that answer down here. I would have 2 times 3x, which would be 6x, plus 2 times y, which would be plus 2y, and that will equal 2 times negative 11, which is negative 22. Now if I add these together, I've got 6x plus 6x, which is 12x, negative 2y plus positive 2y is 0, and that's the whole point. You want one of the variables to cancel. So I'm just going to leave that blank, and then that will equal negative 2 plus a negative 22 is a negative 24. So now I'm going to solve for x by dividing both sides by 12, and that will give me x equals negative 2. Okay, and again, just like we were doing with the equations from last week, we're going to take this value, plug it back into either one of the equations, and solve for y. Just to mix it up, I'm going to use the second equation just to demonstrate. It really doesn't matter. So I will have 6 times negative 2 minus 2y equals negative 2. So 6 times negative 2 is negative 12, minus 2y equals negative 2. I'll add 12 to both sides, and that will give me, that cancels. So I've got a negative 2y on this side equals 10 on the other side. I'm going to divide both sides by the negative 2 to get the y by itself, and that will give me y equals negative 5. So our final answer is the point negative 2, negative 5. Please let me know if you have any questions.